Hey there, it's Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, video version. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, longtime astrologer, psychic, healer, therapist, and yogi. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the new moon in Taurus. It occurs on May 16th, 2026, and it's in the middle of the month, sandwiched between two full moons, the full moon of May 1st, which was a Scorpio full moon, and then the once in a blue moon, May 31st, Sagittarius, blue moon, full moon, and then we have the Taurus new moon. So stay tuned. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Jill Jardine 2186. Listen to my audio podcast on Apple, Spotify, all the major podcast platforms. I've been on it for 6 years now. And also check out the Believe, BLEAV.com network of podcasts, where I am currently part of the network, the only astrology podcast on Believe. So you want to check it out. And also remember, subscribe, share with friends, give me a like, and book a reading. It's May. A great time to book a reading to see what the rest of 2026 has for you. So you can do that through my website, jilljardine.com or jilljardineastrology.com. Go onto my website, jilljardine.com, and you'll see my latest book, Sacred Sound Formulas to Awaken the Modern Mind, Sanskrit Mantras to Raise Your Vibrations. I've been an initiated teacher of Sanskrit for over 20 years, and this book is a compilation of my experience and also transmitting healing from the lineage of my teacher, Namadeva Acharya, Thomas Ashley Farrand, and Satguru Sankeshwada. So it's loaded with Shakti, which is healing energy. Check it out. There's also oracle cards that are really, really fun to play with to figure out what Sanskrit mantra is good for you. So please do all of that. And now you can stay tuned for new moon, May 2026. It's a moon of manifestation, self-worth, money, and more. So here we are. It's a turning point. It happens on May 16th, 2026 at 4:01 p.m. Eastern time. And there's going to be a bit of stabilization from this new moon after the intensity of all the emotional flare-ups from that Scorpio full moon in the beginning of the month. So we're coming to a point of stabilization, grounding. It's a time to rebuild, restructure. It's going to occur at 26 degrees Taurus, which is at the end of the sign. Stay tuned as I explain what that Sabian symbol for 26 degrees Taurus means. As an astrologer of many, many years, I have used the Sabian symbols. And for those who may be new to them, they're an archetypal system of basically describing the 360 degrees of the zodiac. 30 degrees of each of the 12 signs. And Elsie Wheeler was a clairvoyant in the early 1900s who channeled these meanings. And they speak to the subconscious personally, but also to the collective situation at whatever the time is of the lunation. And so they were written up in books by Mark Edmund Jones, Dane Rudar, very famous astrologer, and others now in current times. So check out the Sabian symbol. Another reason to get a reading with me is that I can tell you the degrees of all planets and other aspects in your chart, and we can discover the Sabian symbols together and work with it in a psychological way. I have a background in psychology. I'm a master's in counseling psychology. So I find it a very, very deep dive into the chart. You can check out my soul mapping sessions on jilljardine.com. So this new moon occurring in the late degrees of Taurus. And if you stay tuned, you're going to hear how it affects your sun sign, your zodiac sign, toward the end of the episode. Taurus is fixed. It's Earth. It's the first Earth sign of the year, followed by Virgo in late August and September. And then the third Earth sign is Capricorn in late December to January. So Taurus initiates the Earth energy for us in the zodiac year, every year between approximately the 20th of April and the 20th, 21st of May. And those people born there have the Taurus sun. But I also would like you to listen up for the sun sign forecast or the sun sign activation, more of what's being activated for you by this Taurus new moon. And it also is for your rising sign and your moon, if you know those. So with Taurus being very fixed, we're looking at how can we ground ourselves? How can we be more stable in our life? Taurus deals with the material plane. Pisces, very spiritual sign, as are other signs. Aquarius, Pisces, very spiritual. Taurus is really down to earth. You need Taurians around to help ground you. And they're sensual. They move kind of slow. The energy of Taurus is like slow and steady, wins the race. The tortoise and the hare. It's the tortoise, Taurus, gets to its goal, maybe a little slow and plodding like the bull, its totem animal, but it does achieve what it needs to do. And so with this Taurus new moon, we're looking at making intangible, what's not there yet, real, bringing things down to earth. And we need to embody. Taurus is a very sensuous sign. So it has to do with embodying, you know, and it's rules things like planting seeds. So of course it goes without saying, this Taurus new moon is a great time to plant seeds of intention. And also it has to do with what we value. Taurus rules the second house in the classic Zodiac 12 wheel. So that's all about value, self-worth, what's important. And we may notice as we go through our life that what we value and what we think is valuable will change. And so at this new moon, I ask you to look at that. So the moon sits at that late degree, which means that it's Taurus in a maturation. So it's not the beginning. It's about taking what we have been cultivating in our financial material lives and see if we can go to the next level. And also look at what we don't want and commit to what really does nurture and nourish us in our lives. So it's more about refinement. It's refining what we already have. It's not necessarily, yes, we're planting seeds and we're starting new and we're starting a new cycle so we can use it that way. But it's also taking what we've already cultivated and letting it mature, sort of like fine wine. It tastes better when it's been matured. So this Taurus archetypal energy we're dealing with now. And so as I promised, I talk about the Sabian symbol, representing 360 degrees of the zodiac, and how it affects us psychologically and subconsciously, both on a personal level and collectively. And this is a beautiful Sabian symbol. It's a vast public park. So that speaks to many things. There's the outdoor metaphor of being outside, which Taurus loves. Hug a tree, lie on the grass. So the symbol speaks to abundance, vast, but it's shared. It's a shared abundance. Everybody gets to engage and indulge in the pleasantness and in the healing of a public park. So it's there for everybody. It also speaks to nature. As I said, harmony in nature. We go to a park to relax and release and picnic and do something out of our ordinary lives. So in that respect, it does bring pleasure. Also, people will bring animals like dogs to the park, and it's a very nice way of feeling connection to the earth and to those loved ones, including our animals, our dogs. So the other metaphor is that it's a resource that everybody can benefit. It's not the greedy few hoarding. It's a public park. And so I think in our society, we're looking at that more. How can the collective share something? The days of the 1% hoarding the resources or withholding, there's plenty for everyone. And tune in when I do some of my prosperity programming work, which I've been doing for over many years and helped many, many clients go to another level. But this is a prosperity metaphor because there is enough for everyone. And when more people come into that consciousness, I think it will help our society in general. So this new moon reminds us that true abundance is not hoarded nor coveted. It's shared. It's shared, and everybody gets to partake of the pleasures, and it's very nourishing to the whole. So if we can think about that going forward and also work with the principle of give and take, when it comes to resources and money, we need to keep that flow going. So this new moon for everybody is about creating something sustainable, building a legacy for your future too, and align with values that also support the collective well-being. So it's at this time to think about the Sabian symbol. Think about this new moon as working with your abundance and shared resources. How can you have more peace and beauty and grounded expansion in your life? And how can you create something sustainable for yourself and the collective? So there's a lot of, Taurus is a money sign, as is its polar opposite, Scorpio. Taurus is the money we earn. Scorpio is the money that comes from unearned means or partners. So, but we're looking at all of the financials here in the month of May, because we started with a Scorpio full moon on the 1st, and now we're in the Taurus new moon of grounding. So some other things we can do in a practical way, because Taurus is a practical sign, is reassess our income streams, look at investing in long-term stability, and healing those issues of scarcity consciousness. Again, I work with people in that way. I have many offerings on my website, Jill Jardine, astrology.com. I have some classes you can do, self-guided classes. I also have programs on jilljardine.com that you can work with me to help work through blockages, which are sometimes actually indicated by your astrology chart. The other thing that this new moon will help with is regulating our nervous system. Again, Taurus is the body, it's physicality, it's the material plane. And so if we do these practices, like really feel embodiment and go out and lie on the ground, put our feet into the sand by the beach, put our feet barefoot on the grass, we start embodying, and it starts to help the nervous system regulate. So it's really, really important to even if it's just wrapping yourself in a cozy blanket, it's really important to nurture and nourish at this Taurus new moon, because it will have staying power. Because remember, slow and steady wins the race, and Taurus does build on what we create. So some other things to know about this moon is that Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. Again, it's a pleasure seeker. Taurus and Libra, both Venusian ruled. So it's all about love, money, pleasure, beauty. Seek these things out. And we recently had Uranus go in the sign Gemini. Go listen to those episodes I've recorded on that and what it means for your sign. But we could also have some sudden shifts in money in a solar chart where Taurus would be the first sign, Uranus and Gemini's in the second house. So we'll see a lot of changing of financial situations in the collective and even in persons' own lives. But it's really about breaking out of old value systems, what's not longer serving, awakening around self-worth, and grounding the new energy into your life. So definitely perform a ritual. It is Earth, so do something on the Earth, but think about what are your 5 core values, or what are 5 important manifestations you want to bring forth. I mean, you don't have to limit to 5, but 5 important values for you at this time. Maybe you've outgrown old ones, so look at what's really happening now. And around those values, you probably have one that's a financial intention, so that's really good to seed right now under the money sign of Taurus. And as I said, it's really nice to spend time in nature however you can. And remember, this is really powerful for 2 weeks. It's not just the day of the 16th. It goes till that blue moon on the 31st of May, but then it really does extend until the next new moon in June, halfway through June. So you can do this for about a month and, engage with the pleasures of food, cook, garden, and engage with the earth, and know that you are worthy of abundance. You can rebuild after an emotional cycle. A lot of people were having really tough emotional cycles in the early part of 2026. This is the time to get back on our feet in the ground and move forward and rebuild. Align with your values and self-worth. And I'm going to say it one more time, plant seeds for your future. It's metaphorical, but it's real. And you really want to create this new life, and tune out the noise out there. Tune out the noise out there, because there's just so much more to it than what we're hearing and seeing. So now get ready. We're going to transition to the part of the program when we talk about the zodiac sign. What does it mean for you, this new moon in Taurus? And I'm going to go in the traditional order. And also, as I mentioned, this is based on the solar chart, meaning that your sign would be, the first house would be your sign. For instance, Aries, the natural zodiac, Aries is the first sign. So where would Taurus fall? It's their second house. So here it is. It's all about money, self-worth, what's important. What are you liking? How you earn your money? What do you deserve? It's all about shifting your financial standards. It is your first house, so there's a rebirth for you, Aries. It is your second house, actually. So it is a rebirth in your finances. And it's a powerful time to shift things and raise your standards. What do you deserve? Go for it. You can bring it in. Aries, Aries moon, Aries rising. Taurus, it's your party. It's your new moon. You've been waiting for it for about a year here. It's really time to launch and start new projects, new things. You're going to probably feel more secure. You're having a rebirth, and you can even recreate yourself and your life. You're resetting. You're resetting yourself, and you can use this time to reinvent how you show up in the world. Don't forget, you have the whole month to see this. So Taurus, take stock of what is valuable to you and do your best to bring in the new energies, because you're being supported very strongly by this new moon. And I also wanted to mention that Venus is going to go into Cancer on the 18th, shortly after this new moon, and Mars will go into Taurus. So there's some more support for you, Taurus, with this. And more support for you, Aries, with your second house of resources. Gemini, it's happening in your solar 12th house, which is all about your subconscious, deep clearing, deep healing, release whatever's in the way. Don't forget, Uranus is kicking your butt in the next 7 years. So you really want to get grounded, because things are going to get fast and furious with all the fire and air flying around. So Gemini, you already are wound up. So you really want to ground and get clear what you want to manifest. Uranus will help you in the coming months, but this could be the time to rest and retreat, certainly before the 20th of May, when the sun goes into your sign, Gemini, and then on the 22nd, when Uranus and Sun have a party and you do blast off. So use this time to ground and heal and get clear, Gemini. Cancer, it's occurring in your solar 11th house of others and communities and future goals. So plant seeds for all of that, for your future goals. And you could be meeting new people, aligning with new connections. Take those long held dreams and see how you can manifest them. And you can bring in helpful groups of people or have helpful collaborations. So do it, Cancer. This is a very exciting time. And yes, 2 months from now, you'll come out of your shell. It will be your time to shine. Don't forget, you still have Jupiter throwing plenty of big love at you until July. So make the most of it. This could be a very productive 2 months for you, Cancer, thanks to this Taurus new moon kicking off a new cycle for you. Leo, it's your 10th house. It's your time to shine. You love that. So the moon and the sun are shining at the height of your chart at what we call your midheaven or 10th house. So it's really time to reboot your career. You could have a professional reset. You could let go of something so you could try something new. Also in the Vedic tradition, which this is a Western chart reading, but it's the house of Dharma. So what is your life purpose? You're reevaluating it and maybe anchoring a new vision down to earth and then moving forward to it. You also, are a natural leader, so you may be asked to lead something. And again, it's something that you want to make sure that you have plenty of time to pursue. Your bliss. Virgo. This Taurus new moon is a harmony to you. It creates a trine. So that's luck and fortune. it's occurring in your fortune house. So there could be a lot of resetting of your belief system. It is certainly a time for expansion, traveling journeys in your mind, body, spirit. Plan those trips for the summer 2026 and beyond. And don't worry about the oil prices. Just stay in tune with what your truth is and how you may want to grow your consciousness, because it's all about anchoring that. Virgo, Libra, it's activating your 8th solar house, which is about shared resources, your subconscious, deep purging, release those blocks, especially those scarcity blocks, anything about money, and money can find you in many ways. So affirm that. Relationships could get deeper, and you could receive help from others if you decided to put that out there, which, why not? That's a form of manifestation. And certainly you are in a transformative cycle, Libra. And this is a sign ruled by fellow star mate, your chart ruler, your planet, your sign's ruler, which is Venus. So be very Venusian. Enjoy yourself. Eat some good food. Self-care, Libra. Scorpio. Yes, it's happening in your relationship chart, in your relationship house, because it's your 7th house, Taurus. So it's your polar opposite. So all the relationships are up for renewal and resetting. So think about how you may want to shift how you show up in relationship. It could be a new chapter for you, and definitely look at the mirroring that you're getting from others, how others respond to you at this time. So make sure too that these people you're in relationship with mirror back your own self-worth. Sagittarius, it's occurring in your house of health and service. So look at ways that you can serve the collective and how you can improve your health. I mean, this is really important. Nutrition, supplements, small daily habits that lead to lasting results. Sagittarius, get really serious about making improvements in your health because they can stick, and you will be guided to what you need to do. Capricorn, again, it's a harmony. It's the 5th house of creativity, luck, romance, all those fun things for you, Capricorn. You're grounding it from fellow earth sign Taurus, sending you love with that 90 degrees trine. So make the most of it and start anew. Think about pleasure. Maybe you can take a break from work, but anchor all those new things that you want to find fun and bliss from. So do it, Capricorn. Aquarius, it activates your 4th house of home. It's also your deepest subconscious. So there could be a rerouting, and you may start thinking about doing things like gardening. You're always very much up in your upper chakras, Aquarius. So you're bringing it down to earth. So you are one that should spend plenty of time walking the earth and out in nature toward the end of the second half of May here for sure, because you're going to anchor some of these genius ideas that you have. And you may be thinking about where you want to live. Maybe you want to shift it and change it up, and you want to live closer to the land or in a conscious community or somewhere where you can be very connected to the earth or the environment, the geography. For instance, like if you want to be by the ocean because you want to connect with the ocean, then look at making that a reality for yourself going forward, Aquarius. And Pisces, it's activating your solar 3rd house of communication. So get very clear about what you're communicating and putting out into the world. Your mind could get lit up. You're going to get new ideas. There's a favorable aspect from the Taurus planets. So helping you to put what you want to create in your life into words, put it out there. That's a form of manifestation. Speak your truth. Speak what you want to be your truth. That's Pisces. So remember, this Taurus new moon for everybody is about grounding, abundance, self-worth, long-term growth, values, and alignment. And to get more information on what this means for you personally, book a reading, Jill Jardine Astrology.com or jilljardine.com. Remember to subscribe to my podcast on YouTube at Jill Jardine 2186 and subscribe to my audio podcast on Believe, BLEAV, and shoot us a like. Thanks for tuning in and have a happy May.